This fanfiction is only for entertainment purposes, so please don't take it seriously and don't be offended. It's just a story made out of imagination, so it doesn't define any character in real life. I hope you'll enjoy the story and leave positive comments without hating the author and character. I don't own any pictures, but the storylines are completely mine. I will do voiceover so you can mute it if you want. Hope you will like the video.
I wanted her with every plea. I wanted her as the beauty of my eyes. Someone else got her for free. The one I desired at any cost. The cigarette burned slowly between his fingers, smoke curling around his lips as Taehyung took another long puff. His face was blank, his ocean eyes heavy with pain, his body sinking into the darkness of the room. The silence around him was deafening until the sharp sound of the doorbell echoed. His jaw clenched. With irritation, he crushed the cigarette between his fingers, cursing under his breath. He stood up in frustration, his long strides carrying him to the door. But the moment he pulled it open, he froze. His breath stopped. His hand, still clutching the doorknob, trembled. There you were. Soaked from head to toe, rainwater dripping from your hair, your clothes clinging to your shivering frame. Your lips were pale, your body fragile, but your eyes were the same. The same ones that haunted him for years, the same ones that once looked at him with love, and later, with betrayal. The cigarette slipped from his hand instantly. He didn't even think, he crushed it under his shoe, as if it was poison, as if he could erase all the years you hated him for smoking. He stepped aside silently, making space for you, his chest heaving. You walked past him without a word, and he almost stumbled. His knees felt weak, his heart threatening to burst. He turned his back quickly, pressing his hand against the door, eyes squeezed shut, too afraid to look at you again. Afraid you would vanish like all the dreams he had of you before. Because it had been 6 years. 6 years without you. 6 years of emptiness. 6 years of waiting. His first love. His only love. His forbidden love. Memories hit him like bullets. The night of your wedding. His world breaking into pieces when you chose another man over him. He remembered storming into your wedding like a madman, guns pointed, guards defeated. He thought you would run to him. He thought you would choose love over everything. But you looked at him with teary eyes and told him to leave. In front of everyone. And he begged. On his knees. Begged for you. But you chose silence. You chose pain. You chose to break him. And now, here you were. Sitting on his sofa, drenched, fragile, real. His throat tightened. Slowly, with trembling hands, he removed his jacket. His fingers shook as he stretched it towards you. His heart screamed that you wouldn't take it, that you'd fade away, just like every time in his nightmares. But this time, you didn't. Your cold fingers took the jacket from his hands. You wrapped it around yourself. His vision blurred as a tear slipped down his cheek. He bit his lip hard, wiping it quickly, but it was too late, you had seen. You gave him a faint, weak smile. And that broke him. His chest ached with everything unsaid, with every night he cried for you, with every day he prayed for you, worshipped you, loved you even when you weren't his. He wanted to speak, but his voice choked. Only silence filled the room. And then, you stood up. Your eyes locked with his. You didn't need words. Your eyes spoke of regret. Of longing. Of all the love you never got to give. And before he could move, you wrapped your arms around his waist, hugging him tightly. His breath hitched, his body going still, before he collapsed into you. His arms circled you tightly, as if he'd never let go again. Both of you cried, years of pain spilling out. His lips pressed against your head, your cheeks, your whole face, kissing you again and again like a man starved of life. You laughed weakly through your tears, the sound making his chest burn with warmth and agony at once. But then, his eyes fell on your wrist. Your sleeve had slipped up. Bruises. dark, ugly marks against your soft skin. His body stiffened. His gaze turned wild. He grabbed your other hand, searching, desperate, and his world shattered again. More bruises. And more. Your body, once worshipped by him like a temple, now covered in pain. His lips trembled. His hand shook as he cupped your arm. Taehyung, choking, broken now love. Yn, softly, wiping his tears not now. You smiled faintly through your tears, and that destroyed him even more. His sobs turned louder, his chest heaving with hiccups, each breath burning. He realized some of these bruises were new. Fresh. Recent. Taehyung, furious, shaking I swear. I will kill him. I'll tear him apart. I'll make him beg for mercy. But you stayed silent. You only looked at him. And in your silence, he read everything. The pain. The helplessness. The love. He turned away suddenly, frantic, pulling open drawers, searching for something, anything. His hands landed on the first aid box, and he clutched it tightly, rushing back to you, but you weren't there. The box slipped from his hands. His chest tightened, his lungs refusing to breathe. He looked around wildly, panic consuming him. Not again. Please, not again. And then, he heard it. A faint voice. Fragile. Desperate. Help me, his heart stopped. He ran out, following the sound, and there you were. Standing in the doorway, rain pouring behind you. Your lips trembling, your body weak, but your eyes were smiling softly at him. You raised your hand slightly, signaling him to follow. And without a thought, he did. Because you weren't just a girl. You were his heart. His life. His everything. He followed you without asking. The rain beat on his face, on your hair, on the thin jacket he had given you. He did not know where you were taking him. He did not ask. He only kept his eyes on you, on the small movements, on the way you moved like someone who had already decided things no one else could change. Then you stopped. The forest around you was full of rain and dark trees, and the world seemed to hold its breath. You turned, and looked at him with a smile that was both beautiful and full of pain. The smile broke something inside him he had not known was still whole. He felt a strange ache, a sharp pull in his chest, as if your smile had a secret knife hidden in it. He could read you too well. He knew when you hid things. He knew when your laughter carried sorrow. He took a step closer, because he could not help it. You spoke then, quietly, clearly, and he listened as if every word might vanish. Yn, don't you want to ask me that why I told you to leave me that day and let my wedding happen? Don't you want to know whom I really choose that day? His steps stopped. He gave a pained smile, an answer that was true and useless at the same time. Taehyung, doesn't matter. As long as you are with me nothing matter. You looked at him with small, tired eyes. Yn, but I left you. He shook his head, slow and stubborn, and spoke like a man holding on to his last breath. Taehyung, no you don't. You were always there with me in those last 6 years, not even for a single second I felt alone because I was with you. Your memories. Our memories. You let out a soft chuckle, like something breaking and singing at once. Yn, so if I didn't come today then you can live your whole life with my memories without questioning anything. Without me. He said what he believed with a firmness that hurt. Taehyung, you will always be with me no matter what. You gave him a small smile that was heavy as a farewell. Yn, you know I prepared myself that day to leave everything and choose you. Over everything. Even my life. And I will choose you if it was only about my life. I found a beautiful truth Taehyung that became the pain of both our life, but I swear I don't regret that decision. Neither will you once you saw her. You know with your so many gun there was one more and that was pointed at me. My stomach. They have their target fixed and I won't regret dying in your arms, but how can I die without giving you a reason to live? The only reason I live all these years and endure everything was to give you our precious thing back so that you will start again with me or without me doesn't matter. A single tear fell from your cheek as you spoke. Taehyung's heart sank. The old truth, that you were his enemy's daughter, pressed down on them both, but now other fear and urgency pushed through. Yan, I love you but I swear I don't regret that decision. I don't regret saving her. How could I when she's just the way we imagined her to be? A carbon copy of us. She's our. But she's crying. Don't you hear her? See, she's crying so much. Our precious one is in pain. Go hold her just like you hold me and sing for her just like you used to sing for me on my cold nights. As your words ended, a child's cry cut the rain, raw and loud. Taehyung's head turned. Not far away, a car lay twisted, metal bent like paper. The cry came from it. He ran before he could think. His feet carried him through mud and broken branches. He opened the car door and saw her, a little girl of 5, hair wet, face streaked with tears, clutching herself. When the child looked up, Taehyung's breath stopped. She looked like you. She looked like him. She looked like the future they had never dared to dream. She lied. She told me she will never leave me. She promised me that once we reach to my real dad we all live together happily and she won't suffer anymore because of me, but she lied. The child trembled and pointed to the front seat. Taehyung moved like a shadow, and there you were. Lying still. Blood and rain on your hair. Your chest barely moving. He pulled you into his arms and everything else vanished, the rain, the car, the world, leaving only the sound of his own breaking. He cried then, a sound that shook the trees and the sky. He choked until his throat was raw. He held you and could not let go. He cried for 6 years of waiting. He cried for the wound in his own soul. He cried because she was gone. Then, through the salt of his tears and the noise of the storm, he saw the little girl. She stood shivering and small. He lifted her gently and felt something like a promise fitting back into place. You had come back, not as flesh but as a last brave breath. Not to speak the things you could not say alive. Not to live again. You had come to give him what you could not give in life, a reason to live, and to die at peace. Taehyung pressed his face into your hair. He whispered broken words that the rain swallowed. He looked once at the child, then at you, and understood in a way that cut him open, your last act was love. Your final courage belonged to them both. He would carry them. He would carry you in the small body that held both of you. He would sing to the child on cold nights. He would be the shield you wanted him to be. And in the quiet that followed the storm, his sobs changed into a vow. He sat there in the rain, holding 2 pieces of his life, one warm and alive, one silent and sacred, and let the world keep its secrets. The earth was quiet that morning, the kind of quiet that felt like a prayer. Months passed by after that day. The air smelled of wet soil, as if rain had kissed the ground just hours ago. Taehyung's car stopped at the old cemetery, and he stepped out, holding a small hand in his. His daughter's little fingers clutched him tightly, her dark eyes darting around, curious and innocent, so much like yours. She wore a small white dress today, her hair tied into 2 messy braids Taehyung had tried clumsily to do himself. They walked slowly together, the gravel crunching under their shoes, until they reached the stone with your name carved into it. Taehyung's breath always caught there, like it was the first time, like he had been punched right in the chest. He crouched down, brushing his thumb gently across the letters as if the stone could feel it. Your daughter let go of his hand and bent down too, placing a tiny bunch of wildflowers in front of your grave. Sarah, Appa says you loved flowers. So I picked these for you, Yama. She whispered, her voice sweet, careful. Taehyung's throat tightened. He lifted her gently into his lap, wrapping his arm around her as he sat on the cold ground. His other hand never left the grave, tracing your name like it was the most sacred thing in the world. Taehyung, I told her about you. He said softly, his eyes fixed on the stone. Taehyung, every night. Every morning. Every little thing. She knows your laugh, your smile, the way you used to look at me when you pretended to be angry but couldn't hide your love. She knows everything. The little girl leaned her head on his chest, her small arms wrapping around him. Sarah, Appa sings for me like you used to. When I can't sleep, he sings your song. She said with a sleepy smile. Taehyung closed his eyes, pressing a kiss to her head, his tears falling silently onto her braids. He had done everything he promised you. Every single person who had laid a hand on you, every person who had caused your suffering, was gone. He made sure of it. He had wiped them from the world, and with each one, he whispered your name. But here, at your grave, there was no anger, no blood, no revenge. Only love. Only grief. Only the two of you who would never stop being his whole universe. And then it happened again, like it always did. He lifted his eyes slowly from the grave, and there you were. Not real. Not flesh and blood. Just a shadow made of light, standing a little far away beneath the trees. Your white dress fluttered with the breeze, your hair shining as if the sun itself loved you too much to leave you in the dark. You looked at him the same way you always did, soft, proud, unshakably in love. His lips curved into a smile. A gentle, tired smile. He never spoke to you. Never begged you to stay. Never asked questions anymore. He only smiled, because he knew. He knew it was only his imagination. And yet, every time, the warmth in his chest told him it was you. Taehyung whispered softly, almost to himself. Taehyung, she looks just like you. The little girl raised her head from his chest. Sarah, Appa, who were you talking to? He kissed her cheek, his smile trembling. Taehyung, no one, baby. Just, someone I miss. But when his eyes lifted again, the place beneath the trees was empty. What he didn't know, what he could never know, was that you were always there. Watching. Protecting. Loving. You never left him. Not once. You stayed every time he came, every time he smiled at thin air, every time he held your daughter and whispered to your stone. You stayed, unseen but never gone, tied to them by a love so deep that not even death could cut it. And you would stay until the last day. Until their last breath. Because they were yours. And you were theirs. Forever. The end.